I don't want to sound, I don't know what word to use for it, so I'm not going to use any word for it. But God itself is no form, no thing, including spirit, because a spirit is a form. A spirit was the first thing that made energy mobile before there was matter to put to the spirits. And everyone who really consciously thinks about that can understand it to be true, because before there were things moving, there had to be things to move them. And if people don't get that, then they're the crazy ones, not me. I'm trying to explain things to people from the beginning so that we can make sense of the world that we should have, not so we live in a world where we listen to everybody else and just believe it. For instance, today I asked this guy Rick at work, I'm like, hey man, I'm only asking because you're one of the first people I saw the day after it happened. And I was like, do you think I'm crazy? Do I seem crazy to you? And he's like, well, you seem passionate. And because he went to church his whole life, he was brought up in a church, and he's like, I just have faith in what I learned my whole life in church. And I'm like, well, you have faith in something that somebody else told you, not because you researched it, because someone told you. And they told you enough that when you felt that spiritual feeling, you put that idea to it, and bam, it became true to you. That's how everything works. God is religionless. God is spiritual practiceless. There is no practice that takes you to God. There's a practice that takes you to spirit. And then when you're in the spirit, that practice from that point can take you to God. Most people don't understand that. They practice meditation, or they practice some kind of spiritual practice. And then they experience spirit, which is one step up from us. Like, spirit isn't the end game, isn't the be-all, end-all. There's something more than that. And I've experienced that. And other people have experienced that, I'm sure. But they're not putting in the right words to get it out to people so that they understand it. Everyone seems confused, especially with all these great gurus and enlightened beings. They don't seem to know what they're talking about very much. I mean, they have good things that they're saying, and they're getting people motivated. But I don't see any factual information that I can't say that, honestly. There are some people out there who know what they're talking about. But it seems like they're withholding something, and they're benefiting from it. But you're allowed to. I mean, that's the thing, is you're allowed to. You could be enlightened and then realize, hey, people are going to call me crazy, so I might as well step down a little bit from my enlightened stoop, my tower, and be like everyone else and just have a great life this time. Because deep down, I know that I can have that connection. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to take advantage of people. I want people to have the most honest approach to life. And because I'm being so straightforward, everyone thinks I'm crazy. And it's just disgraceful to me, I think. Like, if you believe in God, then you have to understand that they are God and I am God. And I got a message from that. And I constantly get messages from that. When I say this kind of stuff, I know, when I listen back to it, I know, God, someone's going to hear this and think I'm crazy. But I'm driving right now. I'm behind a car in the middle of a rainstorm, or a big semi in the middle of a rainstorm, driving my semi, being perfectly normal, because Dan can run on autopilot. Dan knows how to do his stuff, just like most people know how to do their stuff throughout the day on autopilot, because they were trained to do it, programmed to do it, not because they have to think about it. When you actually think about something, like right now, I'm not even thinking about the words I'm saying, because I'm just letting the Spirit come through me, letting God speak through me, not even Spirit, but God. God has to take a spiritual form in order to be mobile through me, if that makes any sense. It does. Anyway, so one thing I would like to point out, even though Rick won't ever hear this message most likely, is that he knew me for 3 years, and after that day, I haven't said anything else but that. So something must have happened, but since he doesn't see me other than when I load my truck at work, and when he sees me when I come back to my danness and I'm stressing about my kids, which I don't do as much unless I get pulled into that people think I'm crazy kind of feeling, and then it brings me back to danness. So I don't think people are really considering all the pieces. Like, if you really thought about the fact that I always talked about flirty stuff and rock and roll and my music career and drunk and drinking and stuff like that until that day. And since then, I haven't mentioned any of those things because none of those things even matter at all. I'm not the same person, but I have the same shell, so people see me as the same thing, and I'm not. And my ex is a great great example of that. She sees me as the same thing, even though she doesn't even see me. And even though I've been nice to her, not on purpose, like, it wasn't like I tried extra to be nice. It was because I care, because I love her, like I love everybody and everything. And I guess in this modern day and age, that's crazy to care about things that don't care about you. If that's crazy, then I guess I am. But if crazy means that you would cause harm or damage or any psychological, anything negative to people, that's not me. I'm not crazy at all. I'm the most uncrazy person there is in the world right now. But that's what makes me seem crazy, because uniqueness is not accepted very often. Anyway, I love you guys. And I'm trying really hard to keep my, happiness. I mean, it's always there. I'm always the guy behind me. If I'm angry, I see that there's like somebody watching me be angry. But then there's times where I'm like, why can't I get in control of myself? I feel this. I know that I'm being angry and I could control it, but I'm out of control. And I don't know why. Because it's an emotional thing that my whole life, it relates to something that is more embedded in me than wanting to help the world. I mean, I want to help the world more than I want anything. But when it comes down to Dan, I want my kids to be part of my life. I don't want to help the world and have my kids hate me. I mean, I guess that's a little selfish, but aren't we supposed to be close to our family? Our loved ones should be, like, I love everybody. But before this happened to me, I passionately love my children. And does that mean that because this happened and all of a sudden they don't know how to respond or don't know how to handle it, that I'm just supposed to let them go and not even try to make any contact? That would make me feel like a deadbeat dad, and that's what the world would consider me. And I'm definitely not. In fact, I've been trying for 11 years to show how hard I work and how good of a dad I would be. And when all those things that I did that they wanted me to do, I did everything they wanted me to do. I got the money. I have enough money for a place. I jumped through all the hoops. And now that I did that, it doesn't matter. That goes to show you this shit doesn't matter at all. So quit playing along with what everybody else tells you to play along with and start making sense of it. Looking inside yourself and seeing what is really real and start doing that instead of listening to everybody else. Because it's really annoying to watch everybody else living a life that they're programmed by other people. And they have no idea what they want for themselves. They think they do, but they have no idea who they are. So they can't know what they want for themselves. Anyway, I love you guys. Peace.